All right, welcome. Welcome to Watching with Styles. Let's get into this second half, which is, I'm sure, a lot of people were waiting for this year to get a chance to see Cutter in a situation better than being thrown into the Tim into the Tim Couch. Um, what would I call that? To the Tim Couch version. Um, it is as I said yesterday. Like young quarterbacks, you want to start them off in a situation where they can be successful. You want them in a situation where on this level where you can build confidence. Um, and this was a perfect situation. I appreciate for for once in these FCS games that we were able to get ourselves in a situation where we could play the young pups a lot. I mean, we have had situations where we only have scored 14, 17 points in the or 20 points in the entire game, and you didn't have a chance to get the young boys a chance to get their feet wet. So this was a welcome blessing. And as a result of that, you're going to see some less than visually aesthetic play. And that's to be expected when you're playing true freshmen and or guys who have not received a lot of game reps. So to get these guys some playing time is always a positive. It's always a positive. And to see them and the reason why it's a positive is now you get a chance to get some game tape and to critique the young pups who are usually sitting there listening at coaches get on the ass of pause on other players, their peers, and the giggles and stuff afterwards. Right now, you are in the spotlight, and now it's your turn to get put in the ringer, so to speak. So always nice to get film on players because practice is practice. Practice is not even close to a game when you haven't played a game. Now, for the vets, you can make practice like a game that's close to it, but if you're not a vet, you don't know what a game like situation is until you play in a real game. And the experience is invaluable. So let's get to it. So as I said in the cut ups, the what my impression coming away from this first play is just the athleticism, the smoothness, the effortless nature of this pass, the flick of the wrist, the fluid movement on the boot, like all that stuff. Like this one play right here is all I need to see if I'm an evaluator of the potential and athleticism of the quarterback. Now, this doesn't mean this is not a between the ear assessment. This is not between the ear assessment. This is physic a physically mechanic is that's not the right word. A physical evaluation of an athlete. Like this oop, know why I did that, y'all. Oh, this play showed me enough that I know he's an athlete. He's a natural athlete. I don't know what other sports he played while in high school, middle school, or when he was younger, tennis, best basketball, baseball. I'm not sure, but he's a naturally gifted athlete. And that's you can see that from just from here to there to there. From this point to that point, that's all I need to see. Now all the rest is just hammering down his athleticism. I didn't know that was part of his game. I just didn't. And that's on me, but I'm not paid to be an evaluator, so how would I know? But that's all I needed to see from the athletic standpoint. Man, this guy is I don't know why the quality of this video is bad right now. This guy is gifted. He's extremely gifted. Like I said in the cut up, is that I will lay on this sword for eternity on this one. We're at 4 wins right now. I think we're at 6 wins if this guy starts the season off as the starting running back. Now, that's not totally on coaching. That's also on the player. Because I don't know what went on off the field. And I want people to understand this is off the field on this level, depending on the coach, is more important than on the field. And the reason why I say that is because every guy on this team is an extremely gifted athlete. So, what is going to differentiate yourself between yourself and the backup or the third team, whatever, the guy in that room is sometimes it's what you do not on the field. And that goes back to weight room, that goes back to position room, that goes back to what you did in the off season in the summer. Were you there doing workouts in the summer? What have you made all your lifting? Have you made I don't even know they have study hall. If you have study hall, you're making all your study hall, or you're going to class, or you're making a decent GP. Like all that shit matters. With all that said, if you strip that off, we're just going off of on the field production. If this guy was the starting running back, and I personally think that him and DSK should have been starting. We could have went 21 personnel from jump. I think Wilcox in the backfield gives us 2 wins this season. At this point, 2 more than what we have. The reason why I say that is that his potential effect on the game is immense. His ability to break off these runs would have changed the way some defenses played us early in the season. His availability and his production would have made the game easier for the O-line, which would in turn have made the game easier for the quarterback, which was Brock. Not having this guy get the carries that he should get based on production. This is in a vacuum. He is a difference maker. And I wholeheartedly believe if this guy would have played from day one in a vacuum, that we're at 6 wins right now. And I don't think there's no doubt in my mind that that's the case. I know as a defense, you will have to prepare a little different. Your game plan will be a little different week in and week out playing us if he was to start running back. And I have no problem with him and DSK in the same backfield. You know what? Since I got started on on the film right away. I do have time. Let me show you, in my opinion, what I'm talking about. So, let's see if I can use this, y'all. Let's see if I can erase this. I don't want to do it like that though. Let's see if I can undo. Nope. I would have to erase. See if I can, oh, there we go. All right. So, if, I don't know if I can tie this, but let's see what I can do, y'all. Let's make that Wilcox. Let's make this DSK. That doesn't show up well enough. Let's make that DSK. Let's make this the tight end. Let's make this a tight end too. So now this is 21 personnel, and that's Dane. Let's make them a different color. Let's say that's a receiver. So that's a receiver, right? You can line up something like this with DSK in the slot, Dane outside, 2 tight ends, and with Wilcox, right? The defense already think that you're in 2 backs, so they're going to play with, let's say that's a 3-4 alignment. Let's say they're in 3-4. This would be a regular linebacker. This would be a regular linebacker. It wouldn't be a nickel back. So the reason why I say that is if you play something like this, don't know what coverage they're in, but let's just say they, whatever, right? The advantage is if you move DSK out, now you got a linebacker on him. That's advantage us. If you motion DSK, they're probably gonna bump a little bit, but whatever. Don't worry about adjustment. We can run the ball, and we have advantages on this side too. All right. If you put Rodriguez in, you could potentially put Dang here. Put Rodriguez out. Now you got an advantage with Dang in the middle on a linebacker because they're not going to check into nickel. Now if they check into nickel, we go 2 backs. Now they got a weaker person, a nickel back, whom we can block, and then we have 2 backs in the backfield. Those are the little things that, for me, 22 personnel can work tremendously. You can put him out here and put Willie here. Oop, didn't want to do that. Put Willie here, then you motion. Now we got an advantage. There's so many things that you can do out of 21 or 22 personnel. Let's say you take this guy out and make him Barry and Brown. Now you still have advantages. Like that to me, now that's 21 personnel. That to me is what I think, in my opinion. Now here's the kicker to this, y'all, and this is the most important thing. Is I can come up with all these great creative ideas, right? If these guys on this side of the field can't handle it and digest the the scheme, we can't run it anyway. So take that with a grain of salt. But this play, there's some things about, like I said, he's just a difference maker. Sometimes a difference maker is a little, at his age, can get rushed a little. If I have a big blocker, I think that's Cortland Ford right there. And he's out in front of me, right? He's out in front of me. Slow down. Slow down. Use him as a blocker. Don't just have him run out there and not use him. Use him as a blocker. If he used Cortland Ford as a blocker, and he's patient, like he's done in this game, and he cuts back here, he's faking number 8 out. Number 8 has no chance. And if he gets by number 8, there's nobody else back there. Sometimes you got to be a little patient and use your resources. That pulling offensive lineman is your resource. Getting a guy out in space. Now, again, this is potentially hard on a receiver, depending on where he thinks the running back is going. If he thinks he's supposed to get this leverage on it, running back's supposed to go there. This is how you get holding. Like a lot of people complain about the person who's holding. Sometimes it's on the running back, and not in a bad way, because the running back's got to find the daylight he sees. He sees that daylight. So right there is the hold. But that's good running, man. That's good play all around. Good blocking, good running, everything. Now we get an old Chip in the game. Get him a couple reps, which is interesting to me. This is a nice speed out by Dane. And these are the layups that you have to take as an offense. If they're going to play any type of cover 3 or maybe cover 6 or maybe some bracket, because what happened is we have trips over here. And as I've said in the past, if you have trips, right, this is number 1. This is number 1 and number 2 to this side. This is number 2. So a lot of times this safety has to look at number 3 before he comes back to help on number 1. So in that case, if this is cover 6 and they're in cover 4 this side and cover 2 here, this corner is probably locked man to man. Ooh, that's a horrible. It's probably locked man to man. And if he's going to give you that cushion, you got to take the speed out. That's a decent pitch and catch. Now, here's the reason why this is teaching tape for some quarterback. The reason why you throw him back sometimes is so he can face up, because sometimes you run him to the sideline, doesn't give him enough time to jump the field. So sometimes you throw it to the inside shoulder, so when he catches it, he can face up. It's like basketball. Pivot, face up, and you can make that happen. A little and get an extra 10 yards. Good pitch and catch. Man, look. You only find these kind of runners every now and then at Kentucky. This is the closest thing to Ray Davis and Boone that you're going to get. And I hearken them to number 10, guy I play with, Mo Williams. This guy has some explosiveness to him. He has good vision. I guarantee you this ball is not made to cut back. in my opinion. But because of vision and trust in his eyes, he cuts back. He finds the vertical seam. The shortest distance from here to the goal line is a straight line. It's not to go that way. And to get vertical as soon as you can allows these kind of runs to happen. Now, he doesn't have boom type speed, but he has enough explosiveness with that vision. Great cut. He has a chance to be, if we can keep him here, has a chance to be the best running back in the Stoops era. He really does. He has that type of ability. Not only can he run in between the tackles, like we're going to show here, is he has the ability to hit the bigger home run. That's a big advantage. That's something we haven't seen in a long time. I said this in the cut up. What I want to show here is the downhill. Let me use this. The downhill explosiveness from afar. It is a blessing and also a curse to be a guy with many abilities, because then as a coach you try to find creative ways to get them on the field. It's a curse because you don't get a chance to specialize in one room or one skill set. So he's still learning in year 3. His downhill right there is impressive. That's how good linebackers get in their gap and fill it with aggression. That's a great play. That is a really good, underrated play. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, to be honest with you, there ain't much to be shown in this with these young pups, because there's a lot of not being where you should be. So, like, when we bring pressure and we're bringing 6, so we're playing man-to-man all the way across, right? Man-to-man. We cannot allow that quarterback to be able to bounce outside. We gotta build a fence. We have to. We cannot allow the quarterback to get outside of pressure. That's a no-no. Good defense, though. I think there's 2 of these plays, these read options, which shows that he can read. He can read. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. This is probably more of a give. But as twofold, as a guy who ran sprint option in high school, I felt like I was the better option all the time. So if there was a question, I'm taking it. In the theory, in the book of option running, the give, you're never wrong with giving the ball. You're never wrong. You're never wrong with giving the ball to the fullback or whatever, the back in the backfield. That's your dive back. You're never wrong with giving him the rock, ever. Because that guy's going to always get you at worst back to the line of scrimmage, but probably more than likely he's going to give you 1 or 2 yards every time. Now, if you take it and this guy tackles you right here, that's a -4 yard loss. So you better, without a shadow of a doubt, know that at least you can get to the line of scrimmage if you take it. So that's the beauty of this. This is the athleticism, man, that I was speaking of earlier. It's the ease. That's smooth running. There's no. It's if you put somebody else next to him, you will be able to tell what I'm talking about. That's a smooth gait, and I very highly doubt he ran track, but this is decent mechanics for a quarterback that's not known to be a dual threat running type quarterback. That's pretty damn good mechanics. I don't want to get into the front side mechanics, to the back side mechanics. That's not bad. No, but that's a smooth criminal, so to speak, Michael Jackson. That's really good. I'm impressed by just the athleticism. If you're on this level, SEC level, you should be able to throw the rock. You need to throw that one a little bit more outside. It got inside, got the DB a chance to recover. You need to throw that thing more in here, because Ferrier has about a half a body length, throws it in front and not inside. That's a touchdown. And that's a good route by Ferrier, because he's at the bottom of, he gives him 7 yards. He gives him 7 yards to drop this thing in. He gives him this whole area over here to drop that ball in there. That's actually a good route. Sometimes the receiver gets close. So if the receiver gets too close to the sideline, then the ball is going to be thrown in, because there's nowhere to throw it outside. This is the one. Now, this is the one for me where the processor, his ability to process, his ability to look here and say, I don't like what I see, and to get back to here is big from a procedural standpoint, from an operation standpoint. One, it's not there. Let me get back to the middle. So now, for me, if you read single high safety, right? You don't know if it's cover 3 or it's one high man under. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm watching the game. One high man under. Once you recognize this one high man under right now, you know they're a man, and he doesn't like any of this right now, which is not a problem, especially with this linebacker starting to lean this way. So the throw is probably you're probably trying to bang this one, but he is starting to creep over there. All right, now this is the process that you have to learn. This is pregame. What I'm saying is not what is going through his head. It's more reaction. But when you process it in practice, the reaction is quick. So if you know there is single high man under, right? So they in this point, right? They have these guys to cover our guys. All right? So that's 1, 2. Oh, right here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They have one more. All right? And if the 6th guy doesn't come, which would be this guy, he's going to free up. That's his job. His job is to free up. If he's not going to green dog, or if he's not going to come, his job is to free up. And if the free up guy travels to this side, and man free, that corner's going to be playing outside technique, trying to force everything. They're trying to funnel everything to the free safety. So he's playing outside. This guy vacates and you have a dig, that's your shot. That's the thought process during the week, doing film study with the quarterback coach. In the game, it's just a reaction. It's a reaction knowing that this ain't open, bang that next. Look at it. And the operation of this is outstanding. Bam, bam, come back, see it, rip it. See it, rip it. That's elite. That's a damn good throw. The process and operation were outstanding. Now, when you plan a team the caliber of Murray State, it makes those operations go more smooth because there's not someone rushing your operation. All right. I think this one. I think it's this one. Hold on. Let me see. So he looks here, right? We just saw a minute ago what happened. He looked there, didn't like it. This is the next throw. Get off of it. If that's not open front side, get off of it. That's the throw. Just like last time. He went 1, 2, 3. Now I think there's more options front side here. I think there's just 2. 1, 2, bam. That's a touchdown. Get it to him. That's touchdown. That's touchdown. You got to get it to him. The corner, I think, is that a smash route? I can't tell if this is going to be a corner route. It has to be. I'm sure he didn't come here with this behind. I'm sure that's a corner route, out, flood, backside. Throw it right now. That's touchdown. That's the little thing. And the thing about it, he's shown it the play before, 2 plays before that he can do it. He just missed it right here. He never got back to the backside dig. He never got there. That's open. That's almost a great catch. Almost a great pitch and catch. When you fill your gaps, y'all, and everybody does their job, and they're gonna get 2 yards probably at most. Get in your gap, fill your gap, tackle, get them down. It's 2 yards. If they can get less than 3 yards on first down, on any down, defense wins. This is half great, half bad. When you get to this situation right here, you got to break down. You got quarterback dead to rights, but you have not shortened your stride yet. You took one short stride there, then you overstride again. There's so much. You cannot run. You gotta fill your gap. You got to avoid and get in your gap. Avoid getting your gap. You don't want that big 3+ to touch you, because once he touch you, it's ball game. Now, I'm surprised that they took the targeting off of that one. It's very good when everybody in the run game. It's very good when everybody does their job, fill their gaps. It makes the game easier. Now, it's not easy to do because you want to hunt down tackles, but you can't hunt down tackles. That's just a young secondary giving up that. That should have been played better. As I said, man, this tape is hard to digest. So you just got so many young pups. Now, this here is bothersome. All right. And this is inexperience. Smith does a great job identifying this, which if you identify it, right, quarterback rolls out, why are we not getting depth with? He's got that. You saw him. Get depth with him. If there's no one in front of you, there's somebody behind you. It's a cardinal rule of zone defense. If there's no one in front, I guarantee you there's somebody behind. If Smith got a little more depth, he didn't have to get on, he had to get in phase with him, but just in front of him and deeper, because he's running with them. He's doing a great job of reading the quarterback and helping him guide him to the spot. He's just too shallow. When he looked at him, and I saw a lot, when he looked at him, I thought, oh, he got a shot. But then he just never stayed under him. He just ran with the quarterback. Got to have contain, man. Contain is so important. So important. One of the most important things. DBs, you can't panic. This is a great break on the ball. You cannot ever panic. Get your hands out the cookie jar. It's not a good thing when you get your hand caught. Now we got lucky. I think this is big, man. This is really on looks like I got froze. This is really on the quarterback. All right. Who's on the line of scrimmage? You only have 6. And you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys in the backfield. He has to identify, and it's probably this guy needs to get on the line of scrimmage because you don't want to cover up him. Well, you'll be covering up him actually. So this guy probably needs to step up. And that is on him. He needs to look, scan left, then right, and make sure the formation is accurate. Just like 2021 and Ole Miss. Not allowing Barry Brown to get set after the big play he made. And we got that Dane Key touchdown call back. That's on the quarterback. It's always on the quarterback. The same way a bad snap, bad exchange is always on the quarterback. Same way a bad RPO handoff is always on the quarterback. He controls the ball at all times. That's pretty good. That's better Smith of getting depth. Could have got a little more depth and he would have had to pick. Nothing there. They have to kick a field goal. Oh, and then we get we fumbled a kickoff. So then they get the ball back. Defense did a good job of holding strong. And they had to kick another field goal. I would say the young pups on the O-line did a decent job blocking Murray State. I know they are both young, but still, you still have to execute. All right, this situation is if you don't like what you have, throw the check down now. If you don't like what you have, you could have checked it down now. It's good that he eventually checked it down, But be patient. There's no one at your feet. Climb the pocket and check down. Don't run in there. Climb it, be patient. Give your receivers more time to get open. I like the check down, though. He had time. A lot of time. Just like right there, he's got time. Don't put your head down, because now, if you're going to put your head down, like the O-line did a great job, you have time. If once you put your head down here, run the ball. Run it. It's hard for you to put your head down, then bring it back up, and then locate what's going on down the field again. If you're going to tuck that head, tuck it and run. Go. You got many options. You got there. You got there. Go ahead, run that thing. You already showed that you have the athleticism. Run it. Don't do that, though. That's how you get yourself killed. Don't run back up in there. Rip that thing off. Again, I like it. He could have pitched it there. I understand why, because he sees this corner and maybe he can get his hand in, but he still could have pitched it. I like the movement patterns. And I feel good about him in space. He'll be the smoothest running athlete at quarterback since Terry Wilson. He's much smoother than Will Levis. Now, this is just tight end blowing the freaking pass protection. Jeez. Now, this is the same tight end showing athleticism. Some tight ends in the modern day era can't block, but can damn sure catch. Now, this is just, dude, this is embarrassing from a DB standpoint. I know it's 4th and 2. This is bad eyes. I think they're in cover 2. The corner doesn't help, but if this is number 2, you probably need to be about right there to start. I'm not sure why you over the center. You beat by alignment anyway. Then he goes forward, and then he runs a smash route. He's dead to rights. This is bad, y'all. It's 4th and 2, and we pass the ball, and we got a guy at minimum 8 yards open separation. Now, if it's not man, this corner should have been, and it's cover 2 read, he should have been about at least on the 10-yard line. Make him throw here. See, that's the whole thing. I want people to understand, even players. It's 4th and 2, right? You, in theory, wants to get off the field. But you also didn't earn the right because it's 4th and 2. You want to protect yourself from the touchdown. You will give up the first down. Here's the thing. Just like we did with Murray in the first half. Make them snap the ball. Yes, in theory, you gave up the first down. They ran a route concept that is tough for your defense at this moment, whatever it is. But you make them throw the short throw, you make a tackle, and then they gotta snap the ball some more times. When you don't do that and you give up the home run, it's a touchdown. Yes, it's not the best to give up the first down, but giving up the first down is better than giving up the touchdown. There's levels to that. Sometimes you have to give something to be able to win at the end. Just like, in that series, I can't remember, first quarter maybe? It was the second quarter, whatever. Second quarter, where Murray was marching, and they were inside our 20 for sure, and we got a pick because we kept making them snap the ball. Defensively, this is an offensive game. The game is built for the offense. The way you win defensive-wise is creating turnovers and or continue to make them snap the ball. Because at this level, someone is going to make a mistake. Either you're going to get them in 2nd and 10, or they're going to hold or offsides or men downfield or whatever, and you get yourself in 1st and 20, 1st and 25. Now it's easy as a defensive coordinator to call plays, to call defenses. Second and 15 is not a situation offense likes. 3rd and 10 is not a situation offense like. Offense likes 3rd and 5 or shorter. You can get them a 3rd and 8 or longer. Your chance of winning on defense has increased exponentially. Keep making them snap the ball. Keep making them snap the ball. There's nothing wrong with them snapping the ball. Now, this is, I'm going to be honest with you. This right here, this action is extremely difficult for a defense. When they false pull, when linebackers see pull, they supposed to come this way. And the play action is that way. This is hard as hell for a defense to be able to come back. And they didn't do a bad job of it. The corner could be a little more aggressive, but that's not bad. We blitzed a corner, which I'm shocked. In the 4th quarter in this game, we blitzed the quarterback. I'm not sure he was supposed to blitz. Got him on 3 and out. Now we're back on offense, trying to put some more points on the board if possible. Double screen. I was impressed by the O-line with who's that. Had to be Sam and Kobe and Cortland Ford and can't even think of the other guys. And that was nice to see. And they did a decent job. Another year together, another year in the weight room could prove a difference. Great run by Chip. Couldn't see all of it because they got all of showing the replay late and then show the start of the play. The running back room, man, is not a problem with Wilcox and Patterson and DSK. And we got some more guys coming. So it's gonna be interesting. That running back room is better than what we thought. Which I had so much confidence in Wilcox last year. If you guys was here last year, I thought he was gonna actually be the starter. I didn't know Ray Davis. I wasn't familiar with that Ray Davis. All right, this isn't a cut up. I want young receivers to understand this, and I am a stickler on this for the most part. Now, there's some times where you can't attack leverage. There are sometimes as receiver you have to MOR, and it doesn't matter if the corner's outside. MOR is mandatory outside release. It doesn't matter where the corner is. Yeah, but if you're in man, and I've been preaching this, and he's inside leverage, you have to threaten his leverage to get him uncomfortable. As a guy who played corner, if you attack my leverage, it makes me unease. If you don't, if you just go outside, I feel comfortable because that's where I want you to go. I don't want the shortest throw is across the middle. Once you start throwing outside, now you bring into, you guys know, the whole triangle, the true distance of the throw. Even though it's a 5-yard throw, it's an actual longer throw. So as a DB, you want to protect the inside. So as a receiver, I want to threaten your leverage to get you to overcommit, and then hopefully I can beat you to where I want to go. So that DB is inside. Watch ABS threaten the inside. And this guy, unfortunately for him, but for us, he hops. And like I said in the cut-ups, right now both feet are off the ground, and ABS is starting his cut. So as a DB, I can't match his break until my feet touch the ground, which is right there. And now I'm beat. Now, if he did a better job of kick step and then shuffling without jumping, he would be in a better situation. But the problem and the timing is perfect. Feet off the ground, cut. That's the cut right there. And his feet are off the ground, and now he's behind. But it's all started with him pressing the inside leverage, making that safety uncomfortable. And now he's got separation with a damn good throw. That's basically wide receiver 101, y'all. Now we even got even younger pups in to finish this last drive. That's good defense. Y'all, this is good defense by this corner down the bottom. Kick step. He might be still a little too fast in his retreat, but then he slows down right there. See how he slows down? Now he gets a jam right there. Ball is not in the air. Now that right there, y'all, I want kids to understand that affect, even if he was in the pocket, that affects the timing of the throw. That little contact right there affects the timing of the throw. That's good shit. Now, this is not good. You have to protect your inside. Now, there is no safety in the middle. At least I don't think. 4, 7, 9, 4, 7, 10. That must be a safety in the middle, right? 4, 7 must be a safety in the middle. So I guess he could play outside. But you got to get your hands on a receiver. He's on the line of scrimmage. You got to either get your hands on or you got a soft pedal. It's either or. You cannot get caught in no man's land. I think I went backwards, y'all. You can't get caught in no man's land. Can't get caught in no man's land. You can't be on the line of scrimmage and miss a jam and not soft pedal. You just can't. Because now he's just going to run away from you. But I'm sure Schultz is happy because in a few plays he's gonna get his first interception. So I guess it all worked out well. You gotta have contain, man. You gotta have contain. You have to contain the court. That's a good pass rush. I think this is Smith again. Watch right about right here. Smith breaks down. See the breakdown right there? So now he's just not gonna run past the quarterback. That's good stuff. Yo, he made that look easy, but if he's in, I'll show you something. So, this is the thought process. Okay. If we're playing cover 3 and he has deep middle, there is no, like in high school, in my opinion, you play deep middle and you got a third of the field. For me, you have the 2-2s. Okay. So you have to be able to have range to guard both twos. Now, the way I play cover 3, this corner's going to get in between. He's going to help you on number 2. The same thing here. Now, with this in the boundary, the separation is less than if in the field. You can get more separation between these 2 receivers in the field. So for me, as a corner, I would tell my safety, play the field more, because I can play both of these if they enter the boundary. Okay? That's just a quick word to the wise for me. Now, the thing is as a safety, you worry about these 2 guys. That's your first worry. Once he went out, now you get your attention on this number 2. Okay? Once he settles, now you can just free up. All the time you're reading the quarterback anyway. But now you can free up, in my estimation. And the corner does a great job of getting to number 2. He's just short. This is real good defense. The corner just need to be over top and not under it. But other than that, the corner does a great job of squeezing number 1. Since number 2 went to the flat, who else is in his zone? The number 1 receiver. Number 2 is not going to threaten him, so he can squeeze 1. The safety does a good job of reading the quarterback. And now number 2 to the boundary went out. Now he can field number 2 to the field as reading the quarterback. Number 2 stops. Quarterback throws the ball up. Great high point. That's shit. That's damn good defense right there for a secondary. The only thing that could have happened better is that corner could have been over the top of 1 instead of being under it. But other than that, dude, that was coached well and executed well by both those guys. That was really good. That's almost teaching tape. Like I said, the corner is higher up on the receiver. That's perfect. With the route concept that was ran to that defense. And that's why they got a pick. So y'all, this is great. I'm done in less than an hour. I gotta cut off because I'm done talking in less than an hour. Hope you guys had a great Monday. Have a great rest of your week. And let's see what this team does on Saturday. And hopefully on Monday, it won't be doom and gloom. At least it'll be something a little bit positive at worst. So I'll see y'all next week. Same time, same station. And I am out.
1:16 left to play in the game. Quarterback drops